Hello, you're watching AvenueX, and Merry Christmas to everyone who actually celebrates Christmas. And if you don't, well, we're closing up to New Year, so we can just say early Happy New Year too. This will be the last video on specific dramas on AvenueX of 2025. I do believe I have a weekly left for this year, and then we're gonna go right into 2026. So this is the time of the year where I have to look back on the whole year's release of Chinese dramas and somehow make a summarizing video on it. I tend to do it differently for every year. It's really hard to follow a formula when Chinese Dramaland every year is very different and sometimes lacking stuff that you actually can fit into your template. First, I'm gonna briefly summarize some of the things that has happened on a broader scale of things. Then I will tell you 10 dramas I've picked. I'll try to make this video under half an hour. That would be a real challenge. So let's start with the broad view of Chinese Dramaland of 2025. And I think it's no secret to everybody who's been paying attention to Chinese entertainment that in the last 3 years, we've had steady decline of production in terms of quantity. And this gets reflected in how many dramas we get to see in 2025. By mid-December, Chinese Dramaland, with dramas that are considered to be traditional dramas, so not short form on phones, 1 minute per episode, vertical screen, that type of short reel drama, the proper horizontal framed, and does get a license from an RTA, gets aired on multiple platforms, even satellite television, that type of dramas. In total, by mid-December, 2025 has released 220 dramas. And by the end of the year, I think it's still gonna be in the 220 something number. And that compared to last year, which 2024 has produced 300 dramas, we have seen a pretty accurate 25% decline in numbers. Considering dramas often have a year of production time, so we're actually looking at what has been shot in 2024. And in 2025, it's no secret that in drama production in China, the number has further decreased in terms of how many crews managed to get the money and actually shot the thing. So it's likely next year, at the end of the 2026, when we look back, the number is gonna be even smaller than 220. Other interesting numbers exist, such as overall among the 220 dramas that have aired, about 35% are what we categorize as period dramas, costume dramas, dramas of people who are in ancient time, whether it's fictional or historical. And then the rest, 65%, are what we consider to be contemporary or closer to contemporary time, which usually, let's say, include the Mingguo period in the 1920s up to now. And interestingly enough, that's also pretty much the proportion of dramas I'm going to mention on my list of the 10 dramas I've picked for 2025. We have also interesting things that we can observe from the business this year, where there are many 爆剧, explosive dramas in terms of their numbers by whatever rating organizations that are counting the numbers online. Those dramas performed number-wise really well, yet they barely break through any circles. So if you're not a web drama watcher, you would not have heard about them. This type of thing becomes a very self-sustained ecosystem where traffic actors, the popular celebrities, their fandoms, the platforms, and then the data collecting parties are kind of all in the game together. All those explosive dramas that we've seen this year, including a couple of them. For example, Love's Ambition. For example, earlier this year, there's Lin Jiangxian, which is viewed on iQIYI that I seriously cannot say it's a good fantasy idol drama, yet it got very big numbers, and I highly doubt whether the number is real. But anyway, it has big numbers. And a couple of other period dramas or popular traffic actors dramas that all have a very, very big number. Yet it seems, apart from their fans, nobody's watching those. And interestingly, none of those performing really well in data sense dramas actually got to me in any way. As a reviewer, I probably am not following the trend, and I would become less and less popular because I am not with the mass or where the number goes. I kind of am on the complete opposite end of things. We also noticed some really interesting aspect of Chinese Dramaland this year, which is what we call 环中国区, circling China region, not within China, but outside China. For example, you have the BL drama Revenge Love that got really popular for a while online, and it got aired outside of China, but it's actually a Chinese drama. For all kinds of complicated reasons, it doesn't go through censorship in China, so it airs outside of China. And then it kind of seeps back in, so it's still still takes over China's social media, created a wave of very interesting new kind of like internet phenomena that I did observe, but I didn't take part in. Also, we have the other one that was made a few years ago due to the BL ban that couldn't air, eventually got sold to Japan and then aired also the Justice in the Dark, that at least managed to air and people get to see it, although with Japanese subtitles on it. As a business, as an industry, it's not doing very well, just looking at the numbers you can see. And also looking at how many dramas are actually being watched by people if they're not a regular drama watcher or like person like me, because there isn't a huge breaking through multiple demographics circles drama existing this year, that it's likely people who don't usually watch dramas may not have watched anything in 2025 of Chinese dramas. So I have 10 dramas I've picked for this year that I've liked in different ways. They're by no means actually directly comparable. In terms of size and genre and their meaning to me are all on different levels, but I think looking back on every drama I've watched this year, these are the 10 that I would say I've put a little bit more love into than others. We're gonna do it in period dramas and contemporary dramas form, and there are gonna be 3 period dramas and then 7 contemporary dramas. So period dramas, only 3 of them, and I'm gonna talk about them chronologically. The one that happened in March after I came back to Canada would be not that many people have watched. And I actually wouldn't necessarily highly recommend it to anybody because it's not having a high overall quality period fantasy idol drama, yet it is just different from everything else I've seen this year in that genre. Therefore, I gave it that position. 念无双, a moment, but forever. It's not because I've actually walked on its set before it got shot in 2023. But looking back, maybe that's called 缘分. So that is the drama that aired on iQIYI. 36 episodes directed by Guo Hu, then led by Liu Xueyi and Tang Yan. A work I think written by people who really have thought deeply into the conditions of if you are an immortal or if you are a human, what would be your perspective? And what kind of things you'd be thinking about and questioning about on a very metaphysical level, which you don't usually see in Chinese idol Dramaland. Obviously, it still has those romantic dramas elements and loves and lifetimes and all that kind of entanglement, but it's not necessarily the only drive of the story. I like a lot of very philosophical discussions, debate that happens between characters, and it's beyond the normal level of how deep conversations get in Chinese idol dramas. This writer has written previously also a very good idol fantasy dramas that I liked, and I think it just proves again, when you have a good scriptwriter, it makes a big difference, even when you don't have the best of ever other things. This drama is not perfect. It didn't blow up in any sense, and it doesn't have a perfect ending. It has a rushed ending that seems to be over-edited, and important things got cut out, so that you don't fully know what's the original intention of the story. Even the ending may be not the writer's original intention, as we later see after the drama has aired. But I will never forget a couple of scenes in this drama and how good those conversations are, the dialogues, and how surprised I was because I never thought Chinese idol fantasy drama would ever actually touch on such topics and create this type of characters. The next period drama that will leave a long-lasting impression, and I think you already see it coming since I'm saying it chronologically, would be happening between June and July. A Dream Within a Dream, the iQIYI 40 episodes drama. Interestingly, also directed by Guo Hu. Although I honestly don't think the director has too much to do with the end result in terms of like I liking them. I like them mostly on script level. This is the drama that's led by Liu Yuning and Li Yitong and many other people that you've seen in other Ningmeng productions previously. And for everybody who liked this drama and researched a little bit into its background, I think you can call it a revenge drama from Lemon because of a lot of mess that has happened to one of its highly hopeful older production, A Journey to Love, that happened at the end of 2023. Anyway, this is an original script drama, and it is fantastical in the sense of a contemporary person getting into a script, helping the characters to live their own life instead of the scripted version. This is the most rewatched drama I've had in 2025 in terms of finding a couple of episodes and loop them during the time when the drama is airing because they're just so good. particularly towards the end. If you've watched, you know, at the end of the drama, 37, 38, 39, 40, around that time, there's just so much happening. And because our characters are literally doing the gamers thing where you can't beat a boss, you die and you come back and you beat them again, you figure out another way. It is extremely exciting. It is like having multiple servings in one meal, buy one get three free situation. This is the only drama I've also made edits on. I love the songs from this drama because it's done by this really good music writer who went overboard in terms of making like 60 OST tunes just for this one drama. I love the fact that it has really interesting characters, well written, and also picking very suited actors to play those roles. I think after this drama, Liu Yuning, this really unusual idol drama actor in Chinese Dramaland, one of a kind, has proven that he is a material for this type of drama. It's kind of like just really nice to see. This is the story of a normal person succeeding by their own effort. And this drama, I think, is the one that kind of consolidates that for him. And I think in the future, when I look back, if each year has a representational drama that I will be immediately thinking of, then 2025, I will immediately jump to this one. There may be another one in contest right now, but for very different reasons. Then the last one would be The Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty Season 3. This is, I admit, a kind of fill the number choice for me because I want to make a 10 dramas of 2025 video, so I picked it. Compared to its first two seasons, I feel this season is slightly slacking in all kinds of departments. I wonder whether it's coming from the fact that we're getting a little bit tired of it because it's been doing very similar things for consecutively the third season. It is still of that large size, 40 episodes, previously 36 episodes. So we have over 100 episodes in total of the 3 seasons. It is still this group of people breaking cases here and there in the Tang Dynasty setting. Is still very high quality, but it has gotten to a point where it needs a refreshing. It needs some sitting down, thinking through. I put it here on this list because I really cannot think of another period drama that I would happily recommend and put into the 10 dramas list. It is only a little bit unsatisfactory if you compare it to its previous 2 seasons, to itself, really. If there had been another period drama that is in any other way really got my attention and grabbed me, I probably would put that drama in this position. But since we really don't have one, and they still put a lot of effort, it's still that team's really, really work hard attitude that you can see as the end result of the 3rd season. So I think Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty 3 still deserves a position on the list of good dramas. Now let's talk about the rest 7. So-called contemporary dramas, but they're not necessarily all that contemporary. I then further divide those 7 into 3 types. The first is just one drama. That is a pure contemporary, I'd say, romantic drama. It doesn't have any other element. It is real people's story in contemporary time. Nobody has any buff. There's no historical importance to it. It's just normal people's life story that I enjoyed. And that would be the Tencent 26 episodes, contemporary romantic drama aired around April. 值得爱, Such a Good Love, led by Wang Anyu and Wang Yuwen. A rare romantic drama these days that doesn't have such a heavy idol drama filter on. It's a story that's set in early 2000s, and it's a story about 2 people between, say, their late teens or early 20s to early 40s or late 30s. That period of time, and it's led by 2 very pretty people, and you can say because of that there's still that idol drama lens. But in terms of the events that happens, what kind of challenges they get in their life and also relationship, it's overall much less idol drama-like and more realistic. I like how it's shot. I like the performance of the 2 leads. There are certain sequences and scenes in this drama that I think are the best performance they've done in their career so far, and it looks better than normal idol dramas. You can say the production team, the director, they have very good idea about cinema traditions. It is by no means the perfect romantic drama. For example, the actors, when they play the older version of themselves, as they are way too young still now for that age, and there is a forced trying to make themselves more aged kind of effort that didn't quite work out or convince me. But those are smaller flaws in the big picture of a contemporary romantic drama of no particularly fantastical setting that actually captured my attention. So if there's only one contemporary romantic drama, just about two people's relationships. There's hardly any other element. There's no crime, there's no fantasy involved. It's just two normal people going through life. Kind of love story that I would recommend for people to check out from Chinese Dramaland, it would be this one. Then the next 6 dramas, I would say 3 of them would be contemporary romantic dramas with fantastical element. Then the other 3 are specially designed dramas for 2025 due to this is the 80th anniversary of the end of the Japanese-Sino War. And they created that category of dramas, and some of them are truly of very good quality. So the 3 contemporary dramas with fantasy element in. The first one happened in February, Filter from Tencent. 32 episodes led by Li Landi and Tan Jianci. This is another I've had so much fun with drama this year. In that way, it's similar to A Dream Within a Dream. That's a period drama. This is a contemporary drama. They're both romantic dramas, and they both have fantastical element in it. In this drama, the fantastical element is that bangle that our female lead gets that can shift her reality, or at least her reality in other people's eyes. And it creates so much drama. We have that ridiculous funny scene where our female lead turns into a karate alpaca. This is also a drama where, although I really buy into the relationship between the female lead and the male lead, I actually don't buy into it on the biochemical level, because I buy into that relationship as 2 very good people who, because of this magical thing happening, get to see each other as who they really are as a person and then falls in love with the person. It's that type of love story. It's not built upon just like physical attraction, because it is from the get-go talking about, is the appearance more important or the person inside more important? And with this setup, this story is basically constantly, with its 32 episodes, questioning that thing and trying to look at it from as many angles as possible, while it's ridiculously fun, while the 2 lead actors are doing a really good job and selling the settings and the characters really well. Overall, I'm really happy with the drama. The only thing is the ending is a little bit, I particularly don't quite like the supporting lead couple's romantic story. I think it's like, why do you even have to add that onto the whole thing? The next, having fantastical element in really good contemporary drama, also comes from Tencent. It happened at the end of August, and it's a short drama, only 12 episodes, and it's called 12 Letters, 12封信, led by Wang Yinglu and Zhou Yiran. This drama is easy to watch because it's only 12 episodes, and you're likely to binge it, because if you start, it's kind of hard to stop. It is a fantastical story about a letterbox that can link a 30-year gap between 2 times. And it manages to link a couple of young people, teens, in the 90s, and their descendants 30 years later in the 2020s. And that creates a ripple effect of whether you can change the fate of certain people. And the 1990s couple is played by Zhou Yiran and Wang Yinglu. And then the 2020s couple is Ren Youlun and Zheng Hehuizi. Both couples are really adorable actors, and they've both done really good job. If you want a very short, not wasting your time, yet every element exists and good performances exist, fantastical, romantic, save me at the last moment, time travel story, this is the perfect choice for you. I'm also extremely happy in terms of I discovered the actor Zhou Yiran has this side of him which I previously am completely unaware of, and I could totally see there's a great potential in him to be a proper actor. These days, it's so hard to find one gemstone in the sea of. The next one is also such a story. It happened just a bit after that in September on iQIYI, 不眠日, Mobius. It is also a short drama, slightly longer, 16 episodes. It is also a time travel story, or more specifically a time loop story of our lead character who can live a day 5 times. This is led by Bai Jingting, Wen Yongshan, Song Yang, and obviously most interesting thing, just look at the casting, is Bai Jingting is in the time loop drama again. He has some kind of weird astrological chart connection with time loop. Previously, he was in Reset. That was also very successful, short time loop drama. This is another one. This one has crime, has genetic modification, has a lot of criminal suspense thriller element blended in. So unlike 12 Letters, that's more on romantic story, this one is very much car chase, explosives, life and death situations constantly, time loop drama. It has been filmed with a very matured style, immediately get you to realize it's a thriller and suspense drama. Like I said in my review of this drama, the proper genre that actors such as Bai Jingting can shine. Because this year he's got another romantic drama earlier happening when I was still in China, I think, the First Frost drama. That's just a romance. And I still feel it doesn't work that well for him. But he is so much more interesting, charismatic, as the leading man. You can believe he's the leading man in Mobius, where there is still a romantic element and it's quite interesting, but the majority of the story is focused on that mechanism of time looping. The bad guy and the good guy try to smart each other out, and all the exciting things that can happen with guns and explosives and cars. That overall makes it feel even more like a mainstream Hollywood movie. Another drama I would highly recommend to people for high entertainment value. Then we have 3 left, and these are the heavy dramas. These are the dramas may not necessarily appeal to as wide an audiences because I face an international audience. Some people have no sort of like connection to the historical background really of these stories, so it would be harder to get into them, and they're heavier and they're proper acting and they're long, but they're still very, very good dramas and really happy they exist. First, 归队, The Long Way Back, 34 episodes, happened on Tencent. This one is focused on 东北抗联, the northeastern anti-Japanese army fought the Japanese invasion for 14 years. And it takes a part of their history and looks into it deeply with multiple leading characters played by Hu Jun, Li Naiwen, Chen Jingke, Jiang Xing, Ren Bing, Song Jiateng, and many of those actors. It is such a properly shot, properly done, and actually shot in northeastern China during winter, heavy snow, really difficult situations. Drama, but then it looks so real because it's real cold, real snow, real sufferings that's on the actors. And among many such dramas we've seen released this year, this one would be of top tier quality. One of those projects that's heavy, but when it's done and then when it's well done, you feel like entertainment business exists sometimes for good. And this is like the type of dramas when you see it, it's like, thankfully there are still people who can write proper script, know how to shoot proper dramas, and good actors to get things done and actually done well. And it's actually fun to watch this drama, weirdly enough, although everybody is like constantly starving and they look like they haven't washed their hair like for 10 years most of the time. And somehow people can still look hot. If you watch this drama, you'll know what I mean. Following that, at the end of September, we have 沉默的荣耀, Silent Honor. It is an espionage drama, specifically talking about right at the end of the Civil War in 1949. A very important real historical figure in the Kuomintang army as a general. Left mainland to Taiwan, but still works for mainland, worked undercover. And for only about less than a year, they managed to stay undercover until their covers were blown and they were all executed. And previously in China, all those type of dramas, espionage drama, regarding the thing between the Communist Party and Kuomintang, the KMT, usually uses fake names, tend to blend people's story together. This is the first one that came out in this year that actually looked down it straight, used real name of real characters in history, and first of its kind in that many years of Chinese mainland drama history for very interesting purposes. If you're paying attention to politics that has been going on in 2025, it's kind of like really interesting that it happened around the time. It is proper espionage drama with very good performances from a couple of people such as Yu Hewei, Yu Ailei, Wu Yue. Just watching their performances kind of is worth watching the drama. Although I wouldn't so highly recommend it to a general international audiences just because you kind of have to go into this and know already about the time and the historical background and the setup of the people. Otherwise, it's kind of difficult, or it's going to be tough for you to just get straight into the story and being interested in what is going on. And also, I think if you're not from mainland China, from that kind of education and growing up background, a lot of the things in the drama will be hard for you to grasp. But I think my point of having this channel is being a Chinese person yet introducing Chinese dramas to international audiences. This is a very unique drama in many ways. It may not be the perfect drama. If you just look at it as an espionage drama, there have been better written and more exciting espionage drama in Chinese Dramaland many years ago. But for all kinds of purposes and reasons, it has a special sort of like position in Chinese Dramaland. Then the final one only just happened. It literally airdropped on the day of National Memorial on December the 13th, and that's the Youku 20 episodes. Still haven't finished. As I'm shooting, it has just aired episode 12, drama 反人类暴行 Germ Warfare Units, focused on two timelines. One is in the 1990s, one is in 1940s, of the Japanese Imperial Army's Unit 731, set in northeast China, Harbin, for all kinds of biowarfare research, using live humans as experiment materials and grabbing civilians, old, young, men and women, children, baby, all nationalities, using them as wood log in their language, and pretty much expires people within a week's time, from the time when they are captured to the time they're used up. A true crime against humanity that still isn't widely known. And I think this drama has high value because of that. It's been done at such a high quality that it literally surprised me. In terms of, oh, these days Chinese Dramaland can still produce this level of production. The moment it starts, you know it's done by such professional team. They know how camera works, how editing works, camera movement, color, angle, how you time things, how you direct performances, where you put the subject in the picture, how do you set up a scene, what's the point of production design, imagery, symbolism, how you work it with sound design, music. It's just so professional, like the highest standard productions you've seen in global drama making, like HBO or Netflix. If I have to say what is the highest production standard, like most cinematic, properly done, intentionally designed, yet so well done drama of 2025, this is the one. And it happened so late, almost didn't make to my video because literally it was 10 days ago when this drama started airing. I was saying on my Weibo, which is I watched this drama and because I'm gobsmacked and I'm so impressed and I'm so happy it exists that I can't even praise it, because I find anything I say about why this drama is important and the value of its existence is weightless compared to the fact that it is there. You should go and watch this drama. You'll sense the weight and the pain of history in every frame of it. That I don't need to say anything more. I think my commentary would be unnecessary. And this is what drama making should be. It is literally audience's great fortune and Chinese Dramaland's great fortune that this thing got made. I hope this drama can safely sail till the last episode. If overall when it finishes it is truly that drama I hope it is, I will make a proper review on it. And if that's the case, then I think it would be without a question the best drama that has come out of China in 2025 and even in longer time. So these are the 10 dramas of AvenueX's pick. It is very limited. It's my personal perspective. I haven't had the time to watch all 220 dramas that have released this year. If that's the case, I would have to actually watch 0.8 dramas every day of working days, so not counting weekends, okay? That would probably fry a living person's brain. With the things I have watched, and there are dramas I've watched that I haven't even talked about, this is the list of 10 dramas. And whenever you joined AvenueX, thank you for watching my videos and sticking with me, whether it's long or short. Let's hope 2026 Chinese Dramaland will bring us a few more good things. And let's hope together that 2026, the world isn't gonna bring us as much drama as we have seen in 2025. Thank you for watching AvenueX. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching and Merry Christmas.